The Ancient Dragon Cycle is a new cycle of creature coming out in Commander Legends 2, and these cards have game-ending effects, and today I wanted to rank them from worst to best. Easily the worst out of the bunch is Ancient Brass Dragon. 5 and 2 black for a 7/6 flying Elder Dragon. Whenever Ancient Brass Dragon deals combat damage to a player, roll a d20. When you do, put any number of target creature cards with total mana value X or less from your graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, where X is the result. The reason why Ancient Brass Dragon is just not as good as the other Ancient Dragons is because you have more hoops to jump through. First, you need creatures in your graveyard. Second, you need creatures that meet Ancient Brass Dragon's ability criteria. So if you only roll like a 3 and all you have is big heavy hitters in your graveyard, you just whiffed. You didn't get anything out of it. Compared to the other Ancient Dragons, no matter how low or how high you roll, you will always get something out of it. Like you could get tokens, cards, treasures, counters. This one has the potential to not give you anything out of it. And that's what makes Ancient Brass Dragon weaker than the other Ancient Dragons. The fact that it only has a chance to give you any kind of payout. Moving on to the actual good dragons, we get Ancient Bronze Dragon, 5 and 2 green for a 7/7 flying Elder Dragon. Whenever Ancient Bronze Dragon deals combat damage to a player, roll a d20. When you do, put X 1/1 counters on each of up to 2 target creatures where X is the result. This card's great just because you're easily going to make your creatures huge. If Ancient Bronze Dragon stays on the field long enough, you're easily going to start one-shotting people. Voltron and +1/+1 counter decks are going to love this guy, just because they can use and abuse Ancient Bronze Dragon's ability and capitalize on it. Two commanders that come to mind when looking at this card are Vorinclex Monstrous Raider and Ghalta Primal Hunger. Vorinclex just for the fact that he can double all your counters, making Ancient Bronze Dragon spiral out of control, and Ghalta for having a high chance to 2-shot, even 1-shot somebody if pumped up enough. Not to mention he gets cheaper for having bigger creatures on the field. Our number 3 spot goes to Ancient Gold Dragon, 5 and 2 white for a 7/10 flying Elder Dragon. Whenever Ancient Gold Dragon deals combat damage to a player, roll a d20. You create a number of 1/1 blue fairy dragon creature tokens with flying equal to the result. This is insane. You're easily going to start swarming the board, and there's plenty of token strategies out there that'll just close out the game. The first cards that come to mind are Coat of Arms, Craterhoof Behemoth, and Triumph of the Hordes. These cards will quickly get you to the next game, and are a mainstay for any kind of go-wide strategy. Now, it was difficult to decide which of the 2 remaining Ancient Dragons was the best of the best. However, I believe Ancient Copper Dragon is in second place. So Ancient Copper Dragon is 4 and 2 red for a 6/5 flying Elder Dragon. Whenever Ancient Copper Dragon deals combat damage to a player, roll a d20. You create a number of treasure tokens equal to the result. What the fuck is this busted ass piece of shit? This is just so overpowered. This pretty much translates to I can cast whatever I feel like. And even if you only rolled like a 5, that's still a good chunk of ramp. And if you're in any kind of artifact or aristocrat strategy, Ancient Copper Dragon will easily synergize with the deck. And I think the most villainous thing you can do is pair this with Korvold. Korvold is just going to bank off you sacking all of your treasure tokens. You're going to draw a ton of cards, he's going to get a ton of counters, and you're easily going to outvalue your opponents. These are the kinds of synergies you play when you just don't want to have friends. But our number 1 spot has to go to Ancient Silver Dragon. 6 and 2 blue for an 8/8 flying Elder Dragon. Whenever Ancient Silver Dragon deals combat damage to a player, roll a d20. Draw cards equal to the result. You have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. Card draw is obviously a powerful mechanic in Commander and Magic the Gathering as a whole. It's reasons like this that make Consecrated Sphinx, Rustic Study, and Necropotence such powerful and expensive cards. The reason why card draw is such a powerful mechanic in Magic is because knowledge is power. You see, if you're drawing a ton of cards, you are more likely going to have answers for your opponent's stuff. Not only that, you're simply just going to have more resources at your disposal from the amount of cards you're going to be drawing. You're going to be drawing more creatures, lands, instant sorceries, planeswalkers, you name it. You're simply just going to outvalue your opponents, and in turn, reach your endgame goal at an accelerated rate. One could even argue that Ancient Silver Dragon is doing what all the other Ancient Dragons are trying to accomplish. Granted, at a watered down level, but for example, Ancient Gold Dragon wants to swarm the field with a bunch of 1/1 tokens. Ancient Silver Dragon is going to draw you a bunch of creatures, which in turn is going to swarm the field. Ancient Copper Dragon makes a bunch of treasure tokens and tries to ramp you, while Ancient Silver Dragon is of course going to draw you lands and mana rocks. Also, if your deck happens to have any pump or reanimator spells, Ancient Silver Dragon is going to accelerate that theme from the amount of cards you're going to be drawing. And that's why Ancient Silver Dragon is ranked at number 1, because he's the jack of all trades. But anyways guys, those are my thoughts on the Ancient Dragons. But what did you guys think? Comment below and let me know. And as always, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.